What up, you beautiful little rock stars? Today we're going to talk about how to use certain equipment in the gym to give you the most effective workout and how to use it properly to avoid injury, and maybe there's some things you didn't realize on how these machines work to benefit you the most. Let's get after it. So today we're going to be starting with leg extensions. This is a great machine to help build those quadriceps. You want those teardrops, you want those big, fat, fancy looking quads. This is one of the ways we can do that. Ultimately, squat is king. That's the best way to work it, but this is a great way to fine tune as well as build some strength to help you in your everyday life. So how do we use it? Let's talk about that. So whether you're using a Cybex or any other brand of machine, they're all relatively the same in how you set them up. There's a way to make the backrest adjust front to back to allow us to get in best position for the rotational axis. We'll talk about that in a second. So at the back, there's going to be some sort of a pull pin. Usually it's spring loaded on a lot of machines. You just slide it front to back. If you are taller, okay, Jack and the Beanstalk style, pull it on back. If you're a little bit shorter, guess what? You can put it right there at the front. Find what works for you. Now, how do you know which way to put that? How far forward and how far back do you go? Let's talk about where that needs to be on your knee. Pretty simple. This is how we want to decide how far forward or back to put the back pad. That backrest should be forward or back to make it to where your knees are directly in line with the rotation of axis, which is going to be right here. It may or may not be highlighted or have some sort of a marker on it, but just know no matter what machine you're on, it is the pivot point where the arm is rotating back and forth. Okay, that is where we're going to make sure we put our knees. It should be directly through both knees. That way our knees are not too far forward, putting undue stress on our kneecaps. Also, it's not so far back that we can't reach it like we need to. So when you're seating, I don't know why I keep saying seating. That's not even the right way you sit. That's not how that word is used. Seated, sitting and seated. Seating, okay? This is a little bit too far back. It's a little uncomfortable for me. So what I would do is move that pin, adjust the seat forward. That feels about correct. That right there works good for me. And now I'm sitting where I need to. Our final adjustment is going to be where the foot pad or shin pad, leg pad, whatever you want to call it, where that should be placed on our leg. Typically, if you were to take your foot, this is your leg and this is your foot, where your ankle is should hook directly underneath this pad. So a lot of times they'll either have some sort of a click button or some sort of an adjustment knob that allows you to pull up and down. A lot of them are free floating like this, so you'll pull it up. Do watch your fingers so you don't pinch them right here when you're setting it back down. Definitely use where the handle is to make sure you don't pinch your fingers. That's why it's designed that way. Safety third, right? Okay, so we want to pull this up, hook our feet, let it fall right on top of our legs. Usually it's sitting just right. Let's check that out. Now that we've adjusted all that, hands are right here on the handles. Back is supported by the back pad or the backrest. Hooking our feet, getting it just where we want. Center of axis is right through our knees. All you have to do at this point is make sure you adjust the weight properly to what you are capable of or whatever the workout is designed for. So as far as adjusting the weight, pretty simple. All we do is pull the pin and move it to a different plate. The lower in the stack, the more plates that are on that bar that it's pulling up off the floor, which means it's going to be heavier. It's also labeled. And of course, again, the opposite is true as well. The higher up that we go, the less plates it's pulling up, the lighter the weight's going to be. So pick the weight that works the best for you. Now, that being said, what if 130 is too much, 110 is too light? Guess what? They have a turn knob. What's nice about this is it allows you to just turn the knob, super easy, 5, 10, 15. Those are incremental movements in between the plates, so if you have a set that you need to go in just between, or you're doing drop sets or things of that nature, this is a great way to be able to adjust that weight to hit exactly what you're capable of. So, start where you can, build from there. All you're gonna do, once you're locked in place, extend out, and bring it back down. Extend out and then lower it down. I like to use the word lower. You are letting this come down carefully. What you don't want is just slapping. You'll see a lot of guys in the gym, these meatheads that want to slap it around like this. It's not really benefiting you. Control the weight. If you can't control the weight, maybe it's too heavy. So step it down just a notch where you can. Slow and controlled, extend and squeeze, bring it right back down. That right there will get you a great burn right here. Okay, so you may notice that there's actually this weird looking shape. It could be round or it could be sort of oblong shaped. It kind of depends on the maker and the manufacturer of the equipment itself. But either way, whether it's using a chain, a a strap, a band, cable, doesn't matter what it is. However they're attaching it here, there is an adjustment point on most machines, not all, but most of them, especially today in most gyms that are modern, that allows you to move this, and it will change where this pivot point is allowing the bottom ankle pad to move out to. So what does that mean? That means you pull on this knob and you can adjust. As you see, it moves all the way up or all the way back in super deep, and it clicks into place. Now, how does that affect us? Let's talk about that. I always like to pull my shorts up so I can see my legs to know if they're even working or not. If I pull that pad all the way back, it's going to put a bigger load or stress on the muscles from the very beginning. Okay, so that allows me to really get a full concentration. Okay, it might get a little bit lighter as it gets closer to the top because of where this thing has changed the loading point, especially if it's got kind of an awkward shape to it, more of a bean shape or something like that. Now, if I pull this pin out and move it further up, as you can see, I'm still going to place it in the same spot, but notice my legs are already fully extended. So maybe it's that last couple inches that I'm trying to work on. Really flexing and squeezing, really getting that concentration right there. That's the reason why you'd want to adjust this, okay? And some machines even tell you with either a colored band here or they have something written on top of the machine where the wording is that may show you, hey, if you put it in this setting, it's more the beginning of the movement, middle, last part, or different sections of the muscles depending on how they've labeled it. So the nice thing is you can hit different areas of the legs if you're not trying to get just a full range of motion, but I typically tell people go full range, build good strength, and then when you're trying to fine tune like a bodybuilder, every little detail, start changing it up from there. So give it a shot, see what you think. Now, if you really want to squeeze every ounce of benefit you can get from this machine, the best thing to do is to make sure that you go on over there and click that button down below that says subscribe, like. Go ahead and drop a comment while you're at it. I'll see you there. Hey, if you're needing a good leg workout, here's a great opportunity to start using this. I've actually posted a video once before. I'll leave that linked up here. That way you can check it out, give it a work, give it a go, see how it goes for you. Outside of that, I'll see you guys next week. Be blessed.